we'll go ahead and open up the questions if y'all are ready.
Hey Courtney, just congrats on the series win. It was a short turnaround from last night, and your team responded like how you said last night you were expecting them to. But just what do you think it says about them to pretty sound win today?
Well, I think it shows their resilience and I think it shows their character. And I just was really proud of their answer today. And more so just like how we did it, who we are. Not necessarily outcome, but more often than not, when we've been us, the outcome's gone our way. So I was just really proud of how we fought today. I thought Peyton was exceptional. Our defense was nails behind her. That's what Razorback softball has been. And so it was just nice to see us get back to who we are and rely on each other in doing that. I'm just really proud of the group.
I know it made it extra special for her being her birthday today, but just it's a big game to, final regular season game, and you put the ball in your freshman's hand. I know you trust her, but just how good was this to see her do what she did today, heading into postseason up next?
Well, it was huge. Yeah, you're right. We have a ton of trust in her. And we didn't just, I mean, we gave it to her. Obviously, we recruited her and we know that she's has what it takes, but she's earned that. She's earned that trust and what she's put together in her freshman year. But P's a competitor. He's a competitor. And so for her, it's like we needed her to go out there and just fight. We needed her to go out there and fight. And that's who she's been for us. And so for her to go out there, trust her stuff, and she was dialed today. Her stuff was good. And just trusted her defense. Our defense was great. I'm just really proud of her. I'm just proud of the collective, like the answer. The first two games are not ideal. We just really got away from ourselves. And so just getting back on track, being who we are and finding a way to win the series is big time.
And last thing I'll ask is, I mean, last 2 years, last regular season weekend was y'all didn't come out on top, but for this team to do that whenever I guess their back was against the wall, how nice is it just, I guess, to break that 2-year curse?
Those were different teams, Ethan. Those were different teams with a different makeup. This group's different. Each year's different. And so I just more than anything, this conference has never been stronger. And if you really look at the numbers of the conference schedule, we had the toughest conference schedule. And so for this team to do what they did, and it wasn't easy and it wasn't a straight line, and they just continued to fight and find a way and build character and grow and lean into each other when things are hard. I'm just proud of them. So I don't know what happened in years past. We're here, 2025, Ethan, different group. And I just this group continues to impress me with their character. They're done.
No
Just
more
kidding.
questions?
I'll hop in real quick.
All right.
Kennedy had 2 hits and did it in two very different ways. She was talking about how that was her first ever bunt single of her career. Just how happy were you to see her, provide or produce the way that she did today in different ways as well?
Well, I think obviously it's no surprise that we're just seeing Kennedy, her grind through this year start to pay her back. That was one of the slowest developing bunt singles I've ever seen in my life. So it's a first, probably the last. But it happened, and more than anything, I'm just glad she executed. We needed a bunt, we needed to sacrifice, and then she gets the execution done, and she gets rewarded with a hit. It's pretty big time, but just glad in that moment that we haven't asked her to bunt a ton in her time here, and that was big to get it down. And then she got a hit out of it, but it was the slowest developing bunt single I've seen. And I told her that, and I would tell her that if she was sitting next to me.
Post game, you guys sat out there with all the senior videos. Just for you, as you kind of reflect back on the senior class, what have they meant to you and to this program as a whole?
Uh, they meant a ton, not just to this program, but to my family and to myself. They all chose us at different times and in different situations. And no matter what, like when they chose us, it was the right timing for them and the right timing for us. And what those four have done for this program is immeasurable, So they are, as you can see, obviously they're great on the field, but who they are as humans and how they represent the Razorbacks and Razorback softball is just really, really special. And so I'm just really grateful that they chose us. And they've been so huge for us this year, not just in their play, but in their maturity and just their leadership and how seasoned they are. And it is that year where you're just like, dang, let's play as long as we can so their time doesn't end. But they've done such a great job at just being present. And that is easier said than done as a senior. And they've just been really present, and they've been really committed to who they are and really committed to this team and this program. And I will forever be grateful for those four.
And then I know you're probably tired of hearing about the 1-5 start in SEC play, but you rattle off 6 straight SEC
Don't make
series.
me yell at you like I yelled at Ethan.
Moving past
I'm
that,
just
you rattle off 6 straight.
That wasn't yelling. That was nothing.
You rattle off 6 straight.
I'll talk about I'll talk about the 1-5 start to more so than sometimes we still talk about my first year here. It was a decade ago. So the 1-5 start was not ideal, and this team answered the challenge. They answered the challenge just like they answered the challenge from yesterday to today. And so I don't know if you had a question after that. I cut you off, and so
my follow-up to that was just playing the way that you guys have, fighting through that 6 straight SEC series victories, and like you were alluding to, not an easy path at all through the conference slate. Just where is the overall confidence of this group, knowing that you guys put together that stretch heading into postseason play here?
Well, I think the answer today was huge. More so just because we were almost unrecognizable the last couple days, especially yesterday. And that was the challenge more than anything is, like, hey, we got to get back to who we are, and how we play our best is just linking arms and really supporting each other. And it was critical for us to get back on track because it's not going to get easier from here on out. And so I just appreciate their perspective of just like, hey, that was yesterday. That was a one-off. And that's not who we are. And didn't give it more weight than that. And so I just, I like where we're at. Obviously, there's some things we need to fine tune. But for the spot that we were in and just how uncharacteristic a lot of things were for us this weekend, it's pretty great to find a way to win the series. And great teams find ways to win in a lot of different ways. And this was no different this weekend. So to win this series, in the nature that we did, it just continues to put notches in, the character of this team and growing together.
Dudley?
I'm sure that success this weekend and at the tail end of the schedule is going to put y'all in great position, obviously, to play at home again. Talk about the fan base and how they were this weekend and just the opportunity down the line to see them again.
Yeah, our fan base has been really great for us. They were a little spicy today, which is not like them. But I think they were fighting for us and protecting our team and our program and our players. And so I have a ton of respect for that and a ton of appreciation for that. They were huge. They always are huge for us. It was a full Bogle, and there's nothing like a full Bogle with our fans in this environment and this atmosphere. And it just brings so much energy, but just like, it's just a really cool place to play. Obviously I'm biased because there are fans, but they continue to show up for us. We're going to need them in the postseason. We've earned the spot to host. I fully believe that. And so we're going to need them in the postseason too. They've been big for us.
Appreciate it.
All right, my turn to get yelled at. We've talked about your offense, and the thing that presses me about your offense this year is you score in a variety of ways, and I think today was an example of that. You didn't play with the long ball. You found different ways to manufacture runs. Just talk about the this offense and the variety of ways it can provide runs that maybe not other offenses you've had in the past can do.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you're exactly right. This offense has a way, they just have so many tools in their toolkit. And they just have so much composure. So yeah, they can drive the long ball. They can, I mean, Ken in her, going with the outside pitch, just kind of putting it down the right side, just refusing to get out, was so big in that moment. But today, I just thought our composure to take what they gave us was huge. Just staying in at bats just long enough to get that wild pitch run is big time. I feel like there were a couple times maybe we went 0-2 with a runner on third, and you're not, you know, and you just grind and get one more pitch, and it goes to the backstop for a run. Every little thing is so, and I think that's what was so big for us today, but that's what's been big for our offense is it's not a one-dimensional offense, and we're hard to put away and we're hard to shut down, and that's going to pay us back. I'm hoping it pays us back in the long run.
Breeze discipline. It's easy for a hitter sometimes to be overly out of discipline and try to be overly aggressive and swing away at pitches they shouldn't, even when they're pitching around her. But she stays disciplined. Where does that come from her? Because obviously that influences the hitters around her.
Yeah, she's so confidence-inducing to the rest of the lineup. But it's just like what I said earlier with the senior class, and it's definitely, it's not just the senior class, but you're having Bree have just a remarkable year, maybe one of the best in softball history, and she's just done such a good job of staying present, and not getting caught up in anything other than just being present and feeling her confidence and having great at bats and really just staying inside of herself. She's had flashes a little bit here and there. I think yesterday we just lost our minds. I'm not really sure. We lost our minds in every way. And she just has such an anchor for our offense. Just the ability to do what she has done and stay composed and stay poised and stay confident and stay present. It is remarkable. It's remarkable.
And then my last question, obviously now they turn their attentions to the SEC tournament. What's going to be the approach now in the next few days as you get ready to go to Athens and approach that? And do you like where you're at right now as a team going to the SEC tournament?
I like where we're at. If you would ask me last night, I maybe would have had a different answer. I like where we're at because of our answer from this weekend and finding a way and grinding through the hard. We remind them, hey, we chose the hard. And when we go through tough times, it makes us tougher. And when we get on the other side of tough times, we're going to be better for it. We're better for how we showed up today and how we played together. I like where we're at. I have no idea. I literally went from like senior celebration to seeing former players to sitting down with you guys. So I have no idea how things have sifted out today. There was a logjam right in the middle. And so I just know that it's great with the schedule we had, with how we played, with how we started, which everyone likes to point out, to earn that, bye on Tuesdays is big time. And so we will enjoy that, and we'll see today where we line up and what we're getting ready for. I think the biggest thing is we've learned a lot of lessons this year. It hasn't been easy for us. It hasn't been a straight line, like I said. And so there's just so many things that we've learned and we've grown from. And so we just take all that starting this week, and it's a new part of the season.
You've also got a draft tonight for Bree. Just what do you think about the way that the AUSL is just kind of taking off? And I mean, I saw it on Sunday Night Baseball last week. Just kind of, it seems like they're getting a lot more publicity than any of the pro leagues have in a while.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. More than anything, I think our sport deserves a solid professional opportunity and professional system, or whatever the word is, for these tremendous athletes to have a career in the sport. I think it's time. I think our sport is special. I think it's in a great spot. And so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful because we haven't gotten it right a lot before, and it's gaining a lot of traction. I think we're capitalizing on how big this sport is, and I'm hopeful for it.
Is there any sort of is that up to Bree the draft plans tonight? Are you gonna
Oh,
be?
we're gonna watch together. We're gonna watch together. Hey, how exciting that we get to celebrate one of our players. I didn't get to draft. If I was drafting, I'd draft her one, obviously. So it's gonna be exciting to see where she goes, who she goes to. But it's gonna be a really special night getting to celebrate Bree Ellis, and she's earned this. And so it's gonna be pretty cool to get to sit next to her and watch where she's going.
Sweet, that's all I got.
That it?
I just,
Thank- One
I'll
more?
ask one more. Sorry. You talked a little bit about the seniors and choosing Arkansas, and Reagan Kramer is the only of the four seniors that has spent her whole time at Arkansas. And sometimes it feels like, her at the top of the order, she can get a little bit overlooked, but she obviously plays such a massive role for you guys. Just how important has Reagan been to, same, I guess, kind of question, been to you and to the program over her time here and to this season as well?
I already had my emotion, so stop. Um, Reagan is just a really, really special, unique individual, special. She's wired different. She is exactly what you said in her style of play, just unflashy. She's a grinder. She does everything right. And that's who she's been to this program. She's done the work. She's grinded. She's lived it the right way. She's worked her tail off for everything that she's gotten. It has not been easy, and it has not been rainbows and sunshine all the time, but she's a worker, and she will always put this program first and this team first. And it's really, really special because she won't get caught up in the feelings of it. She won't get caught up in anything. She keeps this program in mind. That is the number one priority. And so how she's protected this program, how she has grown this program, how she has invested in this program is so special. And I'm just really grateful that she's a Hog.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.